Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 525. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
Severance is trash.
and of course, Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, everybody?
All right, you guys already know. Chris may or may not show up. We'll see what happens, and Brian will also see what happens. We're still a week after daylight savings time, so he might be a little messed up. It's kind of weird. I think right now we're like only 4 hours behind England. I don't know how it works, but like there's like a 2-week window where we're like only 4 hours instead of the usual 5 hours. But every year it messes Brian up for Throwdown, and. Chris will show up when he shows up. Who knows? Maybe he fell asleep. And in case you guys wanted to know, Brett is still doing well, recouping. So good stuff there, man. All right, so let's start to get into it. Not a lot of craziness happened this week in gaming. And to prove the point, the main story tonight is a rumor, not official yet. But it got everybody talking. So we'll get into it. So I believe it was on Monday or Tuesday. Our good buddy Jess Corden from Windows Central posted a report about the next Xbox, not only the next Xbox, but an Xbox handheld. And the surprise with the Xbox handheld is that it's dropping this year, 2025. And the original report said that it was going to be made by, an OEM partner, a vendor, right? Asus, MSI, one of those guys. And then
MSI, they're horrible.
Yeah, the MSI clause better. The MSI clause better than original. And then when I read that report, and I reported on it too for Tom's Guide. I just quoted Jez and stuff. I was thinking it would make sense if it was Asus, because when Asus debuted the ROG Ally, Xbox was there in the room talking about their partnership. Lo and behold, the following day, and remember, people, this is all reports, rumors, so none of this is official yet. The next day, Tom Warren from The Verge comes out, and he's like, yep, Asus is making this machine. It's dropping this year, So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to also talk about the second half of the report, which is, I think, even more interesting. New mainline Xbox dropping 2027, along with a full-blown Microsoft Xbox handheld. The one we're getting now is an Asus machine, effectively, with some Xbox kind of branding or whatever. But they're actually going to make their own handheld with their own operating system and all that. So let's get into it, man. What did you guys think of this news when you first heard it? Crazy stuff, huh?
No.
Uh-oh.
They've been doing this shit. Think about it. We just saw them not too long ago with the Legion Go. Remember? They showed up on there and like, hey, we're going to put Windows on it and jack up the price by 100 compared to the Steam Deck version. Whoopie doopie. You want this? Yeah, you do. No, nobody wants that shit. So I don't know. I don't have much faith in this. We've talked about it, and you could see it in the awesome display image, the wizard that we have Manny over here put together. It'd be great if they took the Xbox UI and dumped it into a handheld. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense, and it's usable, it's functional. We know how it works for gaming. But no, they don't do that. They want to keep dumping a straight-up build of Windows that's just not custom to the hardware, and that sucks. And if that's what they're going to offer, no, pass, move that shit along.
Yeah, so you say wait until the real console in 2027?
Wait till we see, even when they talk about, oh yeah, we're going to put the Windows, even the handheld or the console. I want to see if they've listened to the people, because that's one thing. Even Phil said it. He said it before. He was like, well, we got to work on the interface. We got to work on the hardware. Okay, well, that look at the clock, and from what we're hearing the time, maybe they figured it out. Maybe they're like, what should we use? And then see an Xbox, in the background playing, what should we use? I don't know. And then it's like, oh, shit. Do we have that EXE? Let's try that. Let's dump that on here and see what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, again, keep in mind that the system we're getting, we're reportedly getting this year is a Windows 11 handheld, just like all the others we've seen. And Justice Report even said that this is basically, Manny, your favorite word, a toe dip for the real deal coming in 2 years. So I think it'll really be more of a hardware thing. That's where I'm kind of coming at it from. Like, we'll get like the design of this thing could possibly be the design of the next thing. Maybe it'll look kind of like an Xbox controller with a window in the middle. Who knows? But the operating system is going to be Windows 11, according to this report. So don't get your hopes too up for this system.
Then no one's going to be surprised. Think about it. We've already seen that. We've seen it on the other one. So if they say, "Hey, this is our official one," I'm like, so it's got a Microsoft logo on the side of it. It's no different than the other ones that all have Windows running on it.
Yep.
No. They got to do something else.
Uh-oh.
Say it.
Gotta have something else. Look at the controller. Gotta do something like this. Make it see through and then make it all cool with the buttons and the vibrations.
Well, I mean, since they release so many different controller variants, maybe they'll release a lot of console or handheld variants. Who knows?
Wait real quick. Does Nintendo have the pattern? I just thought about something when you brought up, if it looked like a controller. So let's say if they made like a backbone, but they made like an actual 8-inch screen, right?
Yeah.
Computer, everything built in. But like you said, different controller types, and you can snap it on in different types. What if they did something like that? Can they do that, or does Nintendo have that copyright because of the Joy-Con and pretty much everything?
Lenovo does it. Lenovo
does it. Yeah, they do it. Yeah.
I do remember. I'm glad you bring this up because there was a company that did that before Lenovo, and Nintendo tried to sue them.
Yeah, they went. It was like out in Texas or some shit.
Yeah.
They sued the shit out of them.
I don't know if they won though, so don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
But Lenovo did it, and maybe Lenovo got away with it because the way you snap it on is from the bottom instead of from the top. Like that's literally the only difference,
Yeah.
But
it's just like the Vanilla Ice song, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's just a little slower.
Like it's not the same,
Not the same.
Yeah. So Carlos, what are your thoughts, bro? Xbox handheld.
I mean, it's as if we talked about it the day before the report came out. I'm not surprised. I mean, the handheld market is is the zeitgeist right now when it comes to gaming. Everyone is doing it. Sony even dipped their toes even less with the PlayStation Portal, which apparently is getting better by the day. Every time I hear something, it's like, oh, the Portal is adding a feature.
I heard about that. Yeah.
With Xbox, it just makes sense to do this. I mean, their whole thing is let's try to get as many people to play Xbox games from any platform, anywhere. Play anywhere. For the gamers, by the gamers. I don't know what the hell their tagline is anymore.
Yeah. By the way, now there's 1,000 play anywhere titles.
Man, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
But with the handheld, it's just the next natural step for them. I know you're not too enthused, Adam, about this, but going back to your tagline, they got to have something. When the market dictates all of these companies to do these kinds of things to try to squeeze as much juice from the gaming handheld, they got to do it. They got to do it. And in terms of the reports or the rumors, they were talking about, this handheld means they're not gonna release any consoles anymore. Bullshit.
No.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm not against them doing it, but they have to do it right and they have to make it unique. If it looks just like, if it's just Windows 11, then it looks just like the other ones. It has to have its own interface. It has to really stand out. And besides just having an X logo on the side, that it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is like my Xbox on the go. And that would be very seamless. Let's say for casuals or for kids growing up and they don't know they have an Xbox. I don't know these kids with an Xbox, but I'm sure there's some out there. And when they do have it and they're like, oh, wow, look at that handheld. That looks just like my Xbox. It's going to make that quick transition in their head. They're not going to have that like, oh, is that Windows? What's Windows? I haven't gotten to that point in my life yet.
I 100% agree with that point. They do need it's going to have Windows, obviously, Windows 11, but they need a layer on top of that for the presentation.
It's like Steam OS. It's like Steam OS.
Exactly like Steam OS.
Like you got the overlay, but you can go to the desktop if you want to do that. That option's there, but the default is that interface.
Here's something the report hasn't said, and you guys, as you're discussing this, made me think of this. Okay, obviously it's in Windows 11, But what the hell's going to be the launcher for this thing? Are they going to make their own Xbox launcher?
It's got.
Because think about this: the ROG. Do they have one? Because don't they already have Xbox launcher?
That is a launcher. The Xbox. When we used to do the modding on for the 360 version, yeah, it was built on Windows, and the launcher was that interface.
No. I'm talking about. Wait, I think there already is one. Isn't there? Like when you load up the Xbox app on a handheld, you have the actual kind of interface there. Or am I bugging? You know?
No, yeah. The there's an app that.
So I'm guessing. So do you think that's going to be the launcher? Like after you've done all the Windows setup and shit? Because usually what happens is with these handhelds, the Windows 11 ones, once you've gone through all the bullshit, once you start it up again, whatever launcher it uses is the thing that fires up. So this has to have its own Xbox launcher, you know, and it already kind of exists. So I'm guessing they may use the app as a starting point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see. They have to have a better experience, a better user interface than what's available now.
But you're still going to go through Windows 11. That's the only thing you're going to have to deal with it. You have to decline from Office 360 and all that other shit.
No Copilot, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be reminded to update your Windows 11 every so often, which is every other day. You know, that's still gonna happen. Go ahead, Carlos.
I mean, with your question, it's a curious one because one of the quote unquote good things about having a Windows 11 PC or PC in your handheld is that you get to do all the other things. And for the PC thing, like I don't know, maybe the Epic launcher, maybe Steam, all of that stuff. So if you do an overlay, I wonder if it would be beneficial to include those types of, let's say like a tile or something for like Steam or a tile for the Epic launcher.
Well, probably, they probably will because the report says that too. It says that this is going to support all those other launchers like Steam and Epic, just like every other Windows handheld, you know?
Yeah, but remember what they're doing this for. They're doing this for the software, to sell software. They want people to just get Game Pass and download all their stuff on it. So they're going to put their service front and center as best as possible. They know everybody's going to want to load all the other stuff. That's a no-brainer, and that's going to be a selling point. You could put your PlayStation app, your remote app on it. You know what I mean? Do all that stuff. That's going to work, but that's the whole reason of doing it is not just to do it. They're trying to, and we talked about it before when everyone keeps saying, oh, that's it, Xbox is going away, they're never going to make hardware. They're always going to have their own proprietary hardware because of their service. They can't rely on third parties to push their product and to help because they don't care. No one's going to care. It's going to be up to them to care. So if you want that best experience and the best settings, and maybe they'll make their own like boost setting, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is whatever you call it, a Durango portable boost, and it's like, what's that mean? Oh, well, all the hardware components are fully customized for the game experience that's on there. So when you download the game, not just from the Steam store, but you download the game from the Xbox app, it's fully compatible, 100%. It's using all the power of the handheld, and that makes it separate and special compared to what you would get if you had the Epic one or the Steam. I'm just thinking that maybe that you got to sell it because there's already, like we already talked about, there's so many of these handhelds out there running Windows, running Steam OS. You got to make it stand out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an Xbox launcher. Just a reworked version of what you already see on something like an ROG Ally. But again, this is supposed to be like a toe dip for the real deal, and that's the one where that the report says is going to be full Xbox experience on a handheld. Then it won't be Windows 11 based, apparently. Probably Windows 11 somewhere in there, but you won't have to go through all that bullshit. So that'll be interesting,
As long as they remove Word and all the other garbage.
Yeah, we don't need all that shit. Yeah, we don't need all that bullshit on there, And again, I've talked
Get
about
that trash out of here.
exactly.
You don't want
Rich.
to sign up 365. You don't want that.
You don't want that. You don't want to do that
Excel's,
shit.
PowerPoint spreadsheets next to your video games.
And not only that, but that shit like eats up all that like memory and fucking battery and all this other stuff. Again, we tried this experiment, at Tom's Guy. We took the RGLIX, we removed Windows 11, installed SteamOS. Guess what? 25% better performance and battery life. It's like instantly when you should remove fucking Windows 11. So they need to do, Adam, like you got to do something,
Yeah.
So we'll see. Chris, shout out to you, man. Do you have any thoughts on this reported handheld that's dropping this year from Xbox?
Well, I think, I agree with what Carlos and Adam were saying. It is a toe dip because they have to try something different. Like they're committed to a next gen, whatever comes after the Series X. They're committed to that, right? They said they're committed to it, so that's without question. But they see the success that they have and the partnerships they have with ROG and Lenovo. So they're like, hey, well, partner with them, like make the hardware, and branded Xbox. See what happens. But it's they could bow out of that as quickly as they get into it. It may go over like a lead balloon. Who knows?
Yeah,
there's a lot of
the next Zune.
Yeah, I mean, again, remember, this is why this is the definition of a toe dip. They're having Asus build this thing. They're not doing it themselves.
They're not committed,
And this is a precursor to their own handheld. And remember, if this thing bombs, they could be like, okay, we're not going to do the handheld,
But the key thing that you guys all pointed out, they need a stripped down light version of Windows 11. You need a customized, like, you got to rip that thing down to the kernel and just put the essentials in there. And then whatever to get the interface and then the launcher, and get rid of everything else. Get rid of all the telemetry, get rid of all that bullshit that's running now on the other handhelds that bogs it down. You get rid of all of that.
Just do it. They already, that's why I just do the Xbox. They have it. Just do that. Grab that and shrink it down.
Hopefully in this device, they don't allow specific kernel permissions to certain applications, or we'll get one of those one of those mistakes again.
Yeah. And then obviously the other part of the report is that Xbox is working on their next gen system and also an actual real handheld. It's on 2027 seems right to me. The last two generations lasted 7 years, so 2027 would be 7 years since this one started. And remember, we've kind of originally we heard 2026, but that sounded a little too close. But 2027 seems about right. And as Sarah Bond said, that this is supposed to be the most powerful system ever. The usual Xbox bullshit. We'll see about that, but it's going to be, because remember we reported on how there was another report talking about how it was going to be like a simple set-top box. It was going to be like full on, but according to this, it will be an actual legit full on Xbox system.
It's going to be a tower. The Series X is a tower, and now there's like, all right, well, consider that a toe dip then.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
there's another
like
tower,
right? And we'll put our, Xbox OS on it. All right, you know what? That worked out. Can we just put the whole thing in there? Let's do that. What do you mean the whole thing? The keyboard, the mouse. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. And you know what? It'll be kind of a smart strategy if they do release a console and a handheld simultaneously that play each other's games. That could be kind of cool. Or if you you could go crazy if you're one of those FOMO guys, hardcore Xbox guy. You buy both, or you buy either or. Because they're trying to sell. And I said this before on Throwdown. I think Xbox releasing a handheld would be good for them because it at least generates some kind of excitement for the brand again. Because there hasn't been much excitement since 2013, But like you said, we gotta have the right UI in there. We can't be having Windows anymore. And apparently the console, again, not too much has been said, but it's gonna be quote unquote more PC like. I don't know what the hell that means, but that's kind of interesting. Are you gonna be able to upgrade it? Like, what do you mean by more PC like?
More PC I would think that you could upgrade it, or like memory and stuff like that. That would be crazy, right? Modular, you could put your own new video card in.
That'd be
If
crazy.
you feel like doing it, it's like a little slot on the side. You just open it up and shove it in.
Or a big slot for a fucking RTX 70 or whatever. You
Oh,
know.
man. Comes with its own
The
UPS and a
RTX is
generator.
the RTX is probably about as big as that handheld. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Since we got RTX 50s this year, RTX 60s would be 2027 theoretically. So yeah, maybe it'll be just as big. You know. So again, I'm not surprised by that, and also that leads me to believe that if that Xbox consoles drop in 2027, PlayStation 6 will be 2027 as well. Because remember, they always kind of come out at the same time. At least since the PS4 days, PS4, Xbox One came out roughly at the same time. Same thing with PS5, Xbox Series X. So I expect a repeat. These companies don't want to be kind of like like they don't want to be like out in the lurch for too long, you know. But again, that raises the other question, which we're not going to get into here because that's a totally different conversation. What fucking games are we going to be playing on these goddamn things, you know? But that's a whole other thing. But yeah, what do you guys think about the next box, as I'm calling it?
It'll be a PC.
It'll be a PC.
A PC with an Xbox sticker on the side. That's it. Look what we did. We did it.
They
made
buy a
that full-
cyber power, put the Xbox
Oh, shit.
logo on it, ship it to you.
we did the full thing. And I always take it back when Major Nelson one time when they were asking him, trying to remember the whole question. I was like, what's the most successful Xbox platform? You know, for all of them. And he says, the PC. And they were like, what? He was like, because it's always been on PC. You can play the game. Just sign in. It's there. You know, you can play the Xbox, everything. It's on the PC. So, yeah, that's our most successful. I was like, oh, man, that's a cheap way out then if you're going to go that route. So this is it. Now they just say, you know what? We're just going to make a PC and just put the Xbox front and center. It'll boot up there, and there you go. But it's a PC.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, we didn't get too much of that. And again, none of this is official, so keep that in mind. But interesting stuff. So yeah, for anybody that was wishing Xbox was gonna drop out of the hardware race, it ain't happening yet.
They're still gonna say that even when both items are on the shelf. They're still gonna say, you see, this is their last inventory. This is all they have. This is why they're doing it. I don't understand why people are looking forward to any of these big companies going out because we need them. We need all of it. We need competition. Competition is great for everything. Everything. You don't want just one brand of apples and one brand of T-shirts. And no, you need variety.
Yeah, and to prove your point, PlayStation has been coasting this entire generation because it has no competition from Xbox. It's just doing whatever the fuck it wants, releasing remasters like crazy because what else are you going to buy? Xbox, no one's going to buy that. You know, so you need that competition. This generation is proof of that, you know? All right, let's move on here. Completely switching topics, but still about hardware. The Nintendo Switch 2, people. This one is actually about the cost, and some of us may have been kind of right about this. Again, this is a report, so take it how you will. But yeah, we know that they're going to be kind of sharing more details on April 2nd. Some reports are saying there's going to be some events and stuff, which could be interesting. But now another report says that the console. Okay, so investors are thinking this is going to be like one of the biggest launches in history for consoles. I don't know about that. We'll see. And this report is saying that the console could cost $400 or maybe $500. Very interesting.
Maybe even more if it gets taxed.
I'm leaning on that. I remember when you sent us this in the notes earlier.
Yeah.
Like you added this. I immediately read it. I'm like, they're gonna make it $499.
Yeah. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I think Nintendo is kind of riding high on the Switch and their other successes, and their recent behavior, like outside of the Switch, just leads me to believe their ego is like through the roof.
Uh-oh.
Right? The lawsuits are flying everywhere. They're shutting down emulation sites. The Pal World shit is still going on. They're trying to do trademark stuff here in the States against them, which doesn't work. Japan has this weird trademark thing where you can kind of like, as long as you had the general idea or one trademark for some similar thing, you can actually backdate a new one based on that idea, which is how they're getting this lawsuit in Japan for Pal World. So the actions they're doing, I mean, I don't know how anybody argues it's not anti-consumer, but their pricing schemes, they never run like sales on the hardware. The Switch has not dropped in price at all. I mean, they've done bundles and was expensive. The Nintendo Switch Online is way overpriced for what it is. And you pay for that expansion pass, it's even more. And just to play online, it's gated. So I think they are in kind of like the the kind of riding high phase where Dan Matrick felt like he could tell people you just buy a 360 if you don't want to play online,
Oh man.
or Casarai, the second job comment. They're in that phase right now, and so they are going to. I mean, I would think it's not going to be any lower than 449. I would almost guarantee it. My gut tells me they're going to put it at $500 and see how that rides, because they did that with the 3DS already. The 3DS launched, it was way above the PSP. It was way above the original DS. I think it was 250 from like 199, right? They brought it back down because the sales were sluggish after about 4 months.
So
And they way overpriced it.
So do you think that they're going to launch it at $499, and if it isn't selling the way they want, they'll drop it to $399?
No, they'll drop it to 449. I think they'll take steps. They won't drop it that much, but you know, there's worries from investors too. There's factors that weren't in place before. Like, we're not in 2017 anymore, right? There's a whole other landscape they're competing in. I mean, they are competing. You have options now. Young people see Steam Deck, they see the Lenovo, they see the ROG Ally. They have options, right? And a lot of what sells on the Switch is actually Steam ports, right? The indie games.
Yeah,
The indie
shit.
scene is big on Switch, but now you have other options to play those. So unless you absolutely care about the first party titles, you may not be interested in this one, especially if they price it that high. Why wouldn't you just go buy a Legion Go for that price and just get more power, right? Or a RG Ally. Like, you know, you have options now that weren't there. And then when Xbox handheld comes out, you have another option. So there's that, and then there's the factor of the tariffs. So if you ship out of China, right, which is where all these consoles are manufactured, China's going to get hit with the tariffs, which means they're going to pass along costs to the manufacturer, and then they're going to have to figure out how to disperse that cost. So Nintendo has a dilemma where they could kind of pipe the stuff to Japan and then ship it where there's more favorable tariffs. So ship it directly from Japan until they get or just start manufacturing the shit in Japan.
Yeah.
Again, you know, that could be an option, or manufactured here. I don't know, because we're still the biggest market for all this stuff. So, you know, but you know, that'll be interesting. But if there's an initial cost because they are manufacturing in China and they will have to pay out tariffs, that may push the system to, they may hit that price point and go, to offset this, we have to put it at $499.
Yeah, because even if they try to like build, start manufacturing in America, it's going to take a long time to even set that shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
The
up?
way to get around it would be to, and it's like it'll incur shipping costs. Is to get the stuff warehoused in Japan and then ship it from Japan. So get it from China, from the warehouses. Don't ship it right to the States. You ship it to Japan and then export it from there.
Yeah.
Which incurs costs too, but
Yeah. What's up, Carlos?
Yo, man. I wonder who predicted long time ago about Switch 2 prices being closer to 500 and that the next generation is going to release in 2027.
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo's never been wrong. I will tell you that. Because you know why? And you know why?
the tea leaves were like slapping you in the face.
And they were. I mean, we've seen this. I mean, I think the biggest. I mean, obviously, the tariff stuff is important and all the other stuff. that Chris mentioned are all valid points. But we're just living in a place of inflation where we've had rapid inflation since the Switch 1 released, and everything is just cost a lot more. So with the new consoles coming out, and that's point number one. That's the biggest point. And number two, which is almost as equally as big, is something Chris mentioned, is Nintendo's ego. They're gonna raise it up as much as they can to where they know they can make money off of these, as much money as they can. At the end of the day, they're still a business, so they're gonna try to get as much as they can. And obviously, this is a premature celebration, but don't think I haven't ordered the champagne yet. But yeah, it's something that I kind of see, and it's being sort of slowly and surely trickulating through the news cycle. We'll see what they do. The whole thing about the biggest launch ever, we'll see about that. Well,
Yeah.
to quote Mr. Richard Bailey Jr., we'll see about that, because Nintendo's strategy is a common strategy. They've done this for, at this point, decades, where it's sort of they do the artificial scarcity. We've talked about this, Throwdown episode 1, even though I wasn't there. Artificial scarcity is part of Nintendo's playbook, Blue Ocean, all of that. So I wouldn't expect them to release sort of a big a plethora of SKUs or of consoles at launch date, because I guess it just depends on how you interpret that. The biggest sort of launch they've ever seen. My guess, going back to another Miss Cleo moment, and it still hasn't been reported or anything, but I feel like we're gonna get multiple SKUs.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, keep put a pin on that. So my question to you guys is like, do you think if this thing's $500, like, how will that affect the family friendliness of this system? Will parents?
The selling point for families is just going to be like, well, all your games that you currently own from all these years will work on here. Just sign in.
But why won't they? Why won't they say
an extra $500?
Yeah. Why won't they be like, okay, if all your games work, just keep playing them on this thing?
I don't. I'm thinking for them. I don't. If it's 500, I'm passing on it. My kids. I'm not doing it.
It's really, for a lot of people, it's going to be the software choices. That April presentation better be fire. That better be all about software, new software, not like you play your old shit. Like, that's not
or
enough.
Sports.
Or sports, TV, right? You can't do that. But the other thing is, like, Nintendo does think of themselves like having premium offerings. Look at Tears of the Kingdom came out at $70.
Yeah.
What about that was worth that extra price? It's
Nothing.
It's the same game from 2017. It's Breath of the Wild over again, right? And they're like, oh well, other people are putting their 4K offerings at $70, so we'll do it too. I mean, shit. Okay, they think they can get away with it. Okay, I don't see why they wouldn't think this for this system. All the other things that Carlos added, I see if they're just going to put it out at $499. I don't think. Well, you know what? I shouldn't get ahead of myself, because I ate crow for the Switch launch. But here's the thing that didn't exist then. The Switch didn't exist. The Switch is in the market now.
Yeah.
There's plenty of systems in the wild. There's plenty of active users. There's plenty of people who will look at this thing and go, why do I need a new one? And it's up to Nintendo to have that messaging. It's like, here's why you need the new one, because there's these exclusive titles that you can only play on here. And that's what I see them doing. But is it going to be enough for like you said, the families, right? If it's like you're going to lock Mario Odyssey 2 to the Switch 2, I don't know, people probably have like, I got Mario right now, I'm good. And
Yeah.
the Switch is going to have to compete against itself, right? It's not a market like 2017 where the Wii U flopped hard and people wanted a Nintendo experience, and then they gave it to them, a brand new, a handheld hybrid. So now that it already exists, and now it exists, and there's competition on top of that. So I don't see how this will be the biggest launch of all time. That I find that kind of distinction dubious, unless it's just really to hype investors.
Unless also they work out something with GameStop to do like trade-ins. That's
Who
the only
cares
other
about
thing. 'Cause
GameStop at this point?
I don't know who else. No, but that's the thing. I don't know who else can they go with? Well, maybe Best Buy. I'm just think about it, because tons of people, if they want, like you said, what's the selling for families? Well, families already have 2 or 3 of these things. Then they were like,
Here's-
"What? Now I gotta go buy a whole bunch of them." No, so if they could
Where's All
partner,
Day Digital to back me up on this?
Yeah.
That's where the thing's going. Like, it's the points of purchase like Best Buy and Target and whatever are not the draws anymore. Like,
Yeah, no one's
Here's the
really
thing,
going to
they're
those.
buying this shit digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
the
no, I
eShops
know, but
are-
to get rid of the hardware, that's what I'm saying. To do a trade and to get a discount as a selling point, it's like, hey, if you trade this in at this partner here, you can save like $100. So then that way it's like, oh well, it doesn't hurt that bad, because then I'm getting rid of the old one. I'm gonna get something new. I'm just thinking of how do you pry the old ones from people's hands to force them to get to the new one?
and
Here's
also
the
they have
thing
to
that-
make the. Go ahead, Carlos.
Oh no, go ahead, Chris.
I'm the other problem is that Nintendo has this huge problem of not being able to keep accounts in the cloud. Right, everything is locked to your system. This has been the case forever. It's the case with the Switch. If you're going to do that trade-in program, people are going to demand that their profiles and everything they've done on the Switch go to the Switch too. Now, I don't know how they're going to implement that because they're lousy at doing that. And maybe they'll partner with somebody to do that. Hell, partner with Microsoft. Do some Azure fucking solution like into and then have it port. But you need something, right? You can't tell people,
Gotta have
your shit's
something.
locked to the
have
fucking old Switch, but it'll play all your old games. Yeah, but my saves are gone. My progress is gone, right? It's locked to the old system. So they're gonna have to figure out. And if it's something like the system transfer where it takes like plug in your DS, the other one, and it takes like 5 hours for the shit to transfer. I don't know. That's probably what it's gonna be, but it's gonna suck.
Here's the thing that everyone's missing.
Uh-oh.
A wise man once said,
The tea leaves were like slapping you in the face.
and here's why. What did we see from the first announcement with the Switch 2? We're kind of
Just
we mentioned
design. Just design, basically. We didn't see any software.
It was all black.
Yeah.
Why is it gotta be
Oh.
black? But
You're trying to say it's
here's
more
the thing.
mature?
It's more pro.
Uh-oh.
I feel like the marketing strategy for this thing is going to be it's the Switch but pro. But it's the pro version of the Switch. It's the Apple strategy where they're trying to make it seem like here's the premier product, but it's gonna live side by side. I feel it, and I know we've gone back and forth with this. I don't know how long the Switch is gonna continue on after the Switch 2 is announced. Like you mentioned, they could cut it off day one. I feel like they're gonna coincide at least for a bit, because I feel that they still want to sell as many Switches as they can because they want to break the record.
Okay.
And 2, they know that there's going to be an exorbitant amount of price to pay to get the Switch 2. And then the way that they justify it is, well, we have a cheaper. Where have you heard this? You want to pay less for a console to play Nintendo games? Oh, there's a Switch for that. So that's what I feel is going to be the strategy for Nintendo.
Is the ghost of has the ghost of Don Matrick taken over Nintendo?
It's quite possible.
That messaging has to be very careful, though. If you make people feel like they're gated from getting the new system, that's like, oh well, if you want to play all the games, you can't afford this, right? That's what you have to be careful of. That's the PS3 mistake, and the 360 mistake with the online. That you don't want to make that mistake, because people will walk away from you immediately. And that message has to be very careful. Plus, if you parallel the two systems, if you keep the Switch around and you have the Switch 2, which is going to get confusing for people, right? Especially if they do the scarcity, and it's like, oh, you can get a Switch. Maybe people go, oh, I'll just buy this, right? They're not going to upgrade in 6 months or a year when there is supply. They're just like, oh, I bought this shit. I'm good, right? So they'll hurt themselves with that kind of strategy.
It's already happening now. Then think of all the people that bought the red box version, which has that extended battery and the 7-inch screen. They're like, yeah, I just bought this last year. Now I gotta go get them. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of people who make that decision, but Nintendo also I mean, look at their track record. The Wii U was dead before the Switch even launched. They killed that shit immediately. Couldn't wait. They do that with almost every system. The Switch is going to be shelved immediately as the Switch 2 comes out because they're going to want to push more product out to market. They'll either whatever stock they have, they could either discount it heavily if they want to try to boost those numbers to try to hit the record, which I don't think they will, the PS2 record. But they'd have to discount it like severely. It would the Switch would have to go down to like 149 or 199, something ridiculous where people will pick it up instantly. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to just
Yeah, it hurts them in
But
the
that
long
is-
run because people
yeah.
just buy that and then they were like, well, those are people that could have bought the Switch too. But no, we dropped the price on this and now they're just gonna ride that out.
right. And
Yeah.
You
their
guys are
philosophy-
underestimating the biggest factor in this. It's the kids. The kids don't want to switch. Adam, do your kids want to switch? I doubt it.
No, my son plays Fortnite on the PlayStation.
You think the only people that want to hold on, Carlos? I'm going to tie it all back now. Black Switch. You just said kids don't want this thing. You think they're just marketing this towards the adult nostalgic gamers?
No, I just feel like it's gonna be more, like I mentioned, it's gonna be more pro. I don't know if that doesn't necessarily mean adult, but I mean, I guess like it could be kind of a synonym
do
in a
kids
way.
give a fuck about pro?
Well, if it seems more premier, like if it's all about trying to get the new thing. Like with kids, it's if they see their favorite influencers, pimping out the pro on their live streams, that's what's gonna influence the youth to want to get it.
The youth.
And it's the youths, and it's
also what
that's
the kids
just
are
how the world
into.
works.
Like that's what it
Yeah.
really comes down to. Like my son, he does play the Switch just for Zelda. He plays that, but he doesn't like the Mario games. Doesn't play any of those. And then for everything else, he plays on the PlayStation 5. Even though Fortnite's on it, he was like, it doesn't look as good. He's like, oh, the screen, and it doesn't look as crisp and stuff on this. So he doesn't even bother with that. So it's only Zelda. And so even when I told him, I showed him, hey, Switch 2 is out. He's like, whatever, move away from the TV. Come on, what are you doing? He didn't even care. So.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting. So again, remember that they're going to televise something on April 2nd. And like you guys said, they better come out with the hits, Mario Kart, Zelda, Mario, all that.
New version of Punch Out. What? Bring it back.
Like they need to go hard to just, especially if this thing's going to cost $500. And just for full transparency, for the longest time, I said this shit cannot be more than $399 because it'll just kill the family market. But I didn't think about the tariffs, So yeah. I think that's a major factor for the possible $599 price.
You know what? And they can eat it. They can eat it. If they do have to come off at that
eat
price,
it.
Just eat it. Do the old school method that they've done before and we haven't seen in forever. Pack in a game. Pack in a game.
Yeah, they could do that.
Oh yeah. Pack in a game. Pack in something that they can. One of their maybe not something not new. Mario Odyssey. Just know that it was like, hey, you didn't play it here, and bullshit. But like, oh, this is an upgrade, special Switch 2 enhanced
Mario
edition.
Kart 8.
For Mario Kart 8 enhanced for Switch 2 edition. You're gonna love it, and it's included. We're giving you a game
4K.
for this. Yeah, 4K, 4K.
Better why?
So that would cost them nothing. To pack in one of their first party games if they have to go that high with the price. Because like Chris said, and we all said, it's like they're not the dominant handheld right now in this market. They were for a long time, but not now. And when you start hitting those high price points and people start looking at it and then they look at the other ones that are available, it's like, yeah, but those can play God of War and Spider-Man. I mean, you can't do that. You can't.
I gotta push back on a little bit, Adam. So if Nintendo is not the most dominant handheld, what is? Excluding the mobile market, of course.
It's just PCs. Is it any PC? All of them, because people now see
handheld, right? Or
yeah, it's a handheld. Yeah, handheld. handheld PCs. Like that's the market right there. It doesn't matter if it's a Steam
Oh
or
no,
or,
no,
or
no.
Oh,
I think
Adam,
people-
Adam, there's a huge gulf between the Switch and handhelds. And you know, I love me some handhelds, right? Carlos, how much does the
wait, what
Switch
do you
sold?
what do you think I said?
Okay, what did
Like
you?
you're talking about you're talking about the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally.
I'm
those
talking
types
about
of
yeah.
things.
I'm talking about if they come out with this pricing and say, all right, this is the price, and then people that are looking into getting a gaming console or handheld to go, there's other options that play better and look.
Okay,
a lot
I see
better
what you
in
mean.
that. Yeah, and
But,
in that
but they're
price
still
range.
cheaper than those. I mean, the Steam Deck is the only exception, but that Steam Deck is.
But even
No.
none of that, even the Legion Go, isn't it in that price range also? The ones they just showed off?
Not yet.
Not the Windows version, not the Windows version.
No, not
but-
yet.
but-
The Steam OS version
Yeah, the Steam
will
OS
will be
version.
$4.99. That's actually one of the cheaper ones. Usually they're $6.99.
you know, so
Yeah.
uh,
So, the point still stands that there is more competition now. Like, if this
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
$500, that puts it in a different category than just a kid's console. There's now this is the same price as a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. You know, and it's still cheaper than some of the other handhelds, but still in that same price range. So, if you are that kind of person, like, why would I get this system when I could just buy a Windows 11 one instead? You
or
know?
what was
Because-
it?
Because the Switch 2 is the only one that you get to hear "Let's go"
Let's
without being
go.
sued.
But
Yeah.
that's if you care about it. If you're
Yeah, if you
into
care
that,
about it. Yeah, if you're a Nintendo
If
guy,
you care about
you're ready.
Yeah,
You know, if you're
you're already
Triforce
in.
Johnson, you already pre-order this shit. You know.
you don't even if you're a Nintendo fan, but you don't even look at the price.
But if you're a guy
just
like
click to
Adam,
buy now.
Adam, you already quit Switch as soon as you got the
Yeah,
Steam Deck.
no.
Like, I'm done.
That's it, because it's all about I follow where the games are.
Yeah.
So I'm not a brand loyalist. It's like, hey, I get to play all these on here. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to do that. So
Yeah.
it's not going to work because I think it was the Switch that we talked about it, that it was seen as a secondary console because of the pricing and stuff. It's assumed that people would have either a PC or PS5 or Xbox. They have a big boy console, and then
Yeah.
they have a Switch. Well, when you throw in that price range, you're not. You're no longer the secondary. Now you're really competing. And now parents, if we are still going with the whole parent thing, if they're looking at them like, all right, if it's $500, son wants to play these
Yeah.
games, blah, blah, blah. But he has a PlayStation 5. Well, we don't have that Portal thing. That Portal thing plays the games that's on there. It can play outside the house now and some other things, and that's far less than this. Let me present that instead as an option. And the kid most likely will go with that because, like, well, let me see. Oh, I can play all of my PlayStation 5 games on the go now, officially out of the house with this and stuff like that. Well, yeah, and it's cheaper. So even though it doesn't run everything native, it still does the job, and it's less than that price of $500 unless you're a fanboy of Zelda and you have to play Zelda and Mario games. Then because we already know all those third-party games that's on it are not going to look as good as on the other devices. We already know that because of how Nintendo is with their hardware. They don't ever ship the top of the line hardware. So no.
But
Yeah.
here's another point for this. They're gonna. I feel like we can all agree 500 would be the most they would ever go up for the
Yeah,
Switch 2.
yeah, it's not going to go more than
the
that.
most.
Yeah, that's what the reports believe says 400 and up. Didn't say 500 and up. You know.
Yeah. So if we're gonna compare it to, it's gonna be releasing at the same price. If it is 500, it's gonna be releasing at the same price as the Xbox and the Series X and the PlayStation 5 Disc Edition, or just
yeah,
the regular PS5.
the regular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disc edition, because the digital was 4.
Yeah. So the Disc Edition. So, but that's 5 years ago. In 2 years, we are going to be getting the new consoles. Those are not going to be 500. Where we saw the Pro is $700. So it's all going to be relative. You know, console prices are spiking up. So that's why it's not shocking to me that Nintendo is going to sell a $500 console at launch, and it's not going to be shocking to me when the next PlayStation 6 is going to be around $700 at most. But that's just how the new price standard is these days.
I still don't believe that with the PlayStation. I think that was a toe dip when they threw that in 700 for the middle tier, just to see if they can get people to buy it.
And we've been hearing reports that the PS5 Pro is not selling as much as the PS4 Pro. So that price may be a little iffy,
A little
so
too high.
yeah,
Too high
so-
for what you get.
yeah, which is not a lot, So it is what it is, man. Yeah, obviously we'll keep an eye on Nintendo, see what's going on. April 2nd will be here soon. Man, you got any thoughts on this? I saw you stroking your beard.
Meh. Is what it is. It's not something that has any real interest to me. If it goes one way or the other, I mean, granted, I do think Carlos has to have a point. The Darker thing might be attempting to brand this as an older people console.
Yeah.
Also, how long has the Switch been around?
8 years.
So, if a kid started playing Switch games at 10, they would be 8 years old, right?
So it'll be 18.
18. Sorry. So that means that they're in the age range if they're interested in that.
Yep. Yeah, older console. Yeah, maybe they're trying to grow with their audience.
Maybe it could be that sort of situation where it's been around for 8 years, and all right, now we're just gonna keep doing this. So
It's been around.
It's been around. Oh man. All right, good stuff. Next one, a little bit of good news. Even though we don't know when this game will come out, but listen, at least it got announced. You don't usually get this for gaming. Gaming is so fucking secretive, Warhammer 4000. Adam, I know you like that game. Space Marine 3 has been announced because that game has been so successful.
Not surprised.
Yeah, so development's officially started. And to quote Manny, you probably won't see this for 5 years.
Yeah, you probably won't see this for 5 years if game development is not getting any faster. So 5 years, 4 years.
But if they're building off of the same engine and stuff, then it's just changing the map design. I don't think they're gonna change from scratch, because that's what everybody liked about it. It was that fast pace, and now it's built off of World War Z. The same thing. I was like, all right, what if we replace the zombies with these aliens and stuff? See how that works in the Warhammer universe. And it worked out great. So they could just tweak things up, but I don't think it'll take that long.
Yeah, this will still be a next-gen game, though. If next-gen starts in 2 years, presumably, let's just be optimistic. Let's just say this drops in 3 years. It'll be a next-gen game, So interesting. I don't really have any... the game sold 5 million, which... they consider that a success. They're not Square Enix, so 5 million is pretty damn good. I don't really have any thoughts on this. I'm not a Warhammer guy, but I know people like this game, so that's good.
You don't even have to be a Warhammer. I don't know anything about Warhammer when it comes to that stuff. I just know big burly dudes that like to kill things, and that's it. You have a chainsaw sword. It's a sword that's a chainsaw, and you got instant kills and all this. It's fun. Fun game.
It's like
it's a co-op game.
Yeah,
that's it. And it's co-op. And we always talk about that. You see it with the Monster Hunter Division, all these type of games that bring the co-op together. It's fun with friends, And if your friend drops out, don't worry. You got an AI NPC filling the spot, so you're not alone.
Yeah. So what I'm reading from this report is going to give you more of what you like from the first game, for current game. So that's good.
That's it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just build on it. That's all.
That's it. All right. Any other thoughts on this? Again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know.
It's better get here before Gears 6, because that's going to be the competition if it comes out.
Be careful what you wish for, because if this game comes out in 20 years, and it better come out before Gears. Gears is going to come out in 30.
And if it has the roadie run, man, it's over.
He's got the roadie run.
I think Microsoft owns the rights to that. Of course, Epic with the game and all that, but I'm pretty sure, because that was a Cliffy thing. He talks about that he was watching some documentary, some war documentary, and he was trying to come up with ideas for the story. And then he saw there was a cameraman chasing after a soldier. They follow him. Now, and the camera, and it was down low, because he was like, hey, crouch, you got crouch. And it's like, oh, that's a really cool view. Can we do that? And then sure enough, poof, once you run, that's why it goes low and it shows him shaking stuff. So as if a cameraman is following the roadie run.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so there's that. Manny, I'm going to leave this one to you. Silent Hill F. What's all this about?
So they had this today they had the Silent Hill transmission, which was if you remember a while ago they had a Silent Hill presentation that talked about all the different Silent Hill games that were going to be coming. There was the remake of Silent Hill 2. There was this really bullshit on weird like choose your own adventure Silent Hill that nobody that eventually came out with nobody cared about or like. And then there was another one that was done by an all Japanese studio called Silent Hill F, and it seemed more Japanese tilting. A little bit like the game Siren. But anyway, yeah, they put out a new trailer for it. Don't know exactly when it's coming, but it looks very interesting. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't look Silent Hill because it kind of doesn't look like any of the other games. They've decided to go a totally different to a totally different country. There is rumors, and Chris could tell you a little bit better about this, but there was this connection from the older games to Japan with this drug that they used to take in their world. So it could be something having to do with that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like a girl and she's just sort of going through this like possessed town, little Japanese town. So yeah, it looks interesting. So hopefully it turns out well.
Yeah. Anybody else see the trailer?
Oh, not yet.
Yeah, I sent it over. I sent it over to Chris like not long ago, so he probably hadn't checked it out yet.
Yeah,
but yeah,
the drug is there. They're in the first game. I remember it. But
yeah,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's you're gonna see the origins of that shit.
Yeah, who knows? Some people have said it was something having to do with that, or it could just be something totally unrelated. Silent Hill can be anywhere, but who knows?
Well, that was that crap game, the short message that had that Silent Hill was a condition and not a play, which was like retarded.
It's a good. Oh man, I'm feeling pretty Silent Hill right now.
Oh, now you're in a nightmare.
Oh God.
No, I mean, to be honest, it just seems like in a weird sort of way, it seems like it's not like a reboot, but like another idea. Like, if you're taking, if Silent Hill was the Twilight Zone, right? You have different, you have connecting factors, but different ways that people are affected by this thing. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's coming out pretty soon. But I say pretty soon. They didn't give a date on it, but they did have interviews with the director and the writer. The writer is a pretty well-known writer in Japan. He's wrote a lot of screenplays and manga and stuff, so he's got some history. So they're taking it in an interesting direction, and I'm interested to see what the deal is with it.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Speaking about nightmares, we got to talk about the latest, the weekly Ubisoft L, because it never stops with this company, man. So apparently, one of their shareholders, not a big player, but one of their shareholders is trying to plot a protest outside their headquarters because there have been rumblings that other companies like Microsoft, EA, want to buy Ubisoft, and this person claims that Ubisoft hasn't been forthcoming about this, so they want to stage a protest. And we've been kind of talking about this, like the way Ubisoft is going, and I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to save the company. It's probably going to hurt them even more. I think they will be like up for auction this year, and this person believes that they've been talking to other entities without disclosing it to their shareholders. We don't know if that's true, obviously, but I believe that Ubisoft by the end of the year will auction itself off.
This dude must have listened to the Throwdown Show when I mentioned that right after the Activision acquisition, saying I wouldn't be surprised if they get Ubisoft right after.
Yeah. And Carlos, even more proof to your point. Remember, at the end of last year, or towards the end of last year, I said Microsoft is not going to be buying any more companies because they don't want the FTC after them. FTC has a new head now, so all fair game now.
And the E3 committee
and the E3 committee.
or they could just auction off individual IPs.
They can.
Which could go to different companies. Like, I mean, the investors were so desperate they were begging Tencent to buy them, right? They're basically praying that Tencent would just have bought the fucking company already.
Oh, Tencent.
Your favorite company.
Oh, please, man. I don't care. As long as somebody buys the Ubi. Oh, no, they can't even. Because they don't even own the Tom Clancy. They, at least, it's from what I understand, it's like a licensing deal with the state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's what it is.
So even if, what do they really have? Just well, for big franchises that they could sell off, just Assassin's Creed, right? If that's the case, because
Rayman, but not
They got
Rayman. Doesn't
Rayman.
even have
that's not
that.
really doing
Rayman.
much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not
It's
much.
not really doing much. So it's like if it's the only thing that happens is they're like, well, we're gonna relinquish the contract and the deal that we have with the Clancy estate, and then that leaves the door open for Sony, whoever, to jump in and then hire those
Make-
developers or
and
others
And
and
make a
make their
Splinter
own.
Cell game and actually make
Yeah.
a Splinter Cell
Yeah,
game.
and actually
Yeah.
make a Splinter
Mhm.
Cell game. So I would be all for that if they would just let the Tom Clancy license go. Let somebody else do it if you don't want to do it.
Or they can't do
Somebody-
it, you know?
Need somebody to dig into what happened to Beyond Good and Evil too.
Shit.
Oh shit.
So check this out. This is what the shareholder dude says. He goes that he claims that Ubisoft is horribly mismanaged by current management. I agree with that. That and he wants a clear roadmap for recovery. And then lastly, he wants them to address declining shareholder value, lackluster operational execution, and failure to adapt effectively to market trends. Yeah, my man is right about all of
That's
that.
right. That's
By
right.
everything, you know? And like I said, Assassin's Creed Shadows is dropping very soon, I believe next week. And I think that game's not gonna go over well. You know? That game's not gonna go over well at all. All the drama that's been happening with it, I don't think there's any saving that game, man. So
Well, even if it does well, it's not enough.
it's not enough.
It's not enough unless it becomes like
all
the
like games,
second
but not
coming
enough.
of games and everybody scrambles to buy it. It's not going to hit that number. We all know that.
highly
They know
doubt it.
that.
But you're right. Even if, and it's not going to happen, even if it was success, it's not going to save the company. But obviously, it won't be a success. Because think about it like this: even if you strip away all the controversy, all the woke nonsense in it, it's still going to be a basic Assassin's Creed game. That's not enough to save this company. It's going to be a basic Assassin's Creed game, and people are already getting tired of that formula. You know.
They put a lot of time and money in Outlaws. That's what hurt them. They put a lot into that.
How
and
about
that
Skull and
flopped.
Bones?
The Skull and Bones was back and forth and chaos with that. I'm
That was
surprised
8
that even
years, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised that even came out. But the Outlaws, they took the Division team away. They signed that big deal with the Disney to win over the rights to even develop this game. It was, they put a lot into it, and it wasn't good. Wasn't good, and that hurts them. It hurts them big time because that partnership, that money. I don't know how long that deal is with Disney. What if it was like, all right, let's see what you could do with this one. There may not be an Outlaws 2 or anything. Maybe they don't have that type of contract, multi-year deal.
Yeah.
It sucks. Then they lose all that money. So then the shareholders have every right to be pissed. Because like, yo, that game bombed. Now we lost the Disney deal. Now what? What do you got? Rayman.
They don't even have that, you know?
Somebody take the Thanos meme and put Rayman's head on it. It's like, where did this bring you back to me?
It's so sad, man. It's just so sad. For so long, we were rooting for them. Remember when that other hostile takeover was happening?
With
We're like, no,
Vivendi. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
constantly fighting with Vivendi.
trying to take him over, and we're like, no, fight. You could do it. You could do it. And now it's like, oh no, you can't do it. Oh no. Somebody, wait, where's Vivendi? Come back. My bad. My bad.
Come back. Yeah, because it could be
Made a
10
mistake.
cent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come back.
exactly. It was like,
Baby, come back. You know?
I was wrong. I made a mistake.
That's crazy. All right, so there's your weekly dose of Ubisoft L's. Speaking about something that could be another potential L, Niantic, who makes Pokemon Go, they're going to sell their gaming business to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's fun.
Ew.
Fucking Saudi Arabia, bro. We don't talk enough about them, but they've been like just gobbling up fucking gaming companies, man. It's crazy.
Gaming, freaking sports, and everything. Carlos and we know about this. They're constantly buying up players from all over the world just to put them in their crappy league, and even wrestling. Rich knows about it. We got all these big events that are happening out there.
UFC,
Like,
they're also
why? Yeah, the UFC. They're gonna create like some other boxing league or something out there with Dana White and
They bought the
Nick
PGA.
Khan. They bought the PGA. You know what I mean? It's like they got so much money. They're like, why are we making stuff? Let's just buy everything and bring it here, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So it says that the deal hasn't gone through yet, but they're going to sell it off for $3.5 billion. Their AR gaming catalog. Because Pokemon Go is not the only AR game they do. They also even do Monster Hunter now, bunch of other stuff here.
How does this impact Nintendo?
Well, remember, Niantic is not a Nintendo company.
No, I know, but they have such a close partnership. Like, what if they say, you know what, we're going to make all these Pokemon games multi-plat? Can they do that?
I don't know. But this is a Pokemon. This is just for Pokemon Go. It's not like the core.
Oh, okay.
This isn't the
Harry Potter Go and all this stuff.
Yeah, this isn't the Pokemon company. This is Niantic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
different.
And if the Saudis do decide to do that, Nintendo will just pull the Pokemon license. That'll be the end of that.
Yeah,
Go will be dead.
that's true. Yeah, that'll be real quick. So I'll read this real quick. Niantic Labs has announced that it's selling its video game division to Saudi Arabia-owned mobile developer Scopely for $3.5 billion after struggling to replicate the success of Pokemon Go across its other AR games. The newly inked agreement. Okay, so they inked it. Okay, includes Niantic's Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter Now, and Pikmin Bloom mobile gaming titles. All right, so I guess Pokemon Go's falling off.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's not anything. It's not like it's not going to happen. They already signed the deal.
They signed it.
It's
It's
already
all, the ink has been, it's there. Crazy stuff.
done. The drink is dry.
Remember that shit, man, at Pokemon Go? That was a crazy summer, man. Everywhere you go, you saw motherfuckers with their phones chasing Pokemons and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I
wild.
driving around. There was a cemetery not too far from where I live, and during lunch break, he was like, yeah, I got to go to the cemetery. I'm like, why? He was like, yeah, I got to catch these Pokemon. There's like 2 of them that I need. They're going to be there. Like, you know what's creepy? That's more creepy than just hanging out in the cemetery. Driving slow with your phone out, trying to catch shit.
You're like, see, like all the goth kids are all in there, just like smoking in the cemetery, and then you see this asshole looking around with the phone in his hand, like, oh, hey, look, it's a Gengar. It's the ghost Pokemon in the cemetery. That's great.
Oh man,
I
I
remember
was in school and everyone was playing that shit.
everybody, man. Like, again, I remember twice I was in the city at both gaming events. Like one game event, I was there with Dana. We were hanging out at that park on 23rd Street by the Flatiron building.
That's Madison Square Park.
Yeah, Madison Square. Everybody was with the fucking phones. And I remember this other time I had exited a Bandai Namco event on 42nd. It's at the Bryant Park Hotel. And me and some of the fellas were going around, and Dana's like, "Yo, I got to split off." I'm like, "Oh, you got to do something." I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go catch Pokemon now." My man just goes right into Bryant Park to catch Pokemon. Grown ass man, Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then we reported on a lot of these stories on Throwdown back then, too. Some fucking kid, American kid crossed over Canada, looking for Pokemon. They arrested him and shit. It's like crazy stuff, man. Dudes are flying to other places in the world to catch Pokemon because certain regions had different Pokemon and shit.
Yeah, there was some YouTuber that my son, because he's all into the Pokemon, but not that one. But I remember him watching a video. The guy was traveling all over the world to catch all the Pokemon because it shows you which ones you're missing and where they're located. And he's like, well, got to get on a plane and go to England. And he would go to England and to those spots. Caught that.
England.
All right, got to go to France. And he's traveling around. I'm like, shoot.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wild stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, this thing's already been done. So, oh, boy. Saudi Arabia, man. Like I told you guys before, they own SNK now, which is kind of troubling.
Weird.
But the murder prince specifically, that's what they call him. I'm pretty sure you could guess how he got that name, Crazy. But I'm looking forward to Fatal Fury, even though if I'm going to be potentially supporting a murderer, but it is what it is. We all support murderers around here, don't we? All right, next up here. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. Eurogamer had an interview with everybody's favorite nerd, Mark Cerny. Basically, AMD's new graphics cards have their own like updated version of DLSS. It's called FSR. Now it's FSR 4. And the PS5 Pro is going to get this next year, kind of as a evolution. This is what Mark Cerny said, the next evolution of PSSR, because we know PSSR is not the greatest. Hasn't really worked as advertised. So this kind of makes sense because, you know, the PlayStation's using an AMD chip. This is AMD technology, so kind of makes sense. But it's like, damn, you got to wait a whole year for this shit? Really? You know, it's like, what's the point?
Is it just them supplying a driver update to get this shit working? Or is there like
guess.
a revision of the PS5 Pro, like a hardware revision?
Yeah, this thing doesn't really say, you know?
Yeah, that's odd to me. There's got to be drivers. There's no way you can make a second version of the PS Pro.
No.
To get this shit.
It would have to be drivers. Like, I doubt they're going to, yeah, like, you're not going to do a PS5 Pro 0.5.
Right, yeah. Right.
You know, that would just be
with
weird.
FFFRE4313, a big sticker on the side. Like, what?
What's up, Reggie? What's going on, man? He goes, I'll have a PS4. I thought you were already getting a Pro for Monster Hunter, bro. What happened? So, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of found that, oh, wow, the main part of this article is all the way at the end. It's a long-ass article. I'm pretty sure, yep, there's the associated video. So I'll have to watch that on my own time. Yeah, you are getting it. There you go. But I don't know. I'm not against upscaling stuff with like I like DLSS. I think that works well. But I don't like the way it's been implemented in PS5 Pro so far. I don't think they've taken good advantage of that stuff. But we'll see.
You know something is wrong when Digital Foundry stops being smitten.
Yeah, that's right. Because remember when the PS5 Pro was announced, they were all like, "Oh my god!"
Like, it's the bee's knees. This is like the next coming of Christ right here. And then every other game up came out, and they're like,
Yeah. And then I saw 3 videos in a row, kind of shitting on PSSR. Like, oh, there you go. You found out that negativity gets you clicks. You know, but at least
here's the thing, though. I mean, in general, like, none of that stuff, even when they were showing it and even when they were saying how advanced this stuff is, it didn't look that much better to me.
No, not really.
You know?
That was the joke on Twitter. Like, they're like, oh, like PS5 Pro. No, PS5 Pro, they were showing screenshots, but it was just the same screenshot, and it was accurate, to be honest, you know?
It's not like the marginal changes. It's like, again, this is precisely why I don't want to even invest in something like a 4K television if the damn console can barely do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I always remember when I watched that reveal, the launch, and they were showing side by side like Days Gone and some other things. I'm like, so you tweak the lighting? You know, it's like, oh, I see the backpack a little better in certain light. Look at the reflection on his cheek. I was like, what the hell? I don't spend that much time. I'm moving around. I'm running from the zombies.
Yeah, like it looks like, like for something like Days Gone for the HD remaster of that, if anything, they just exported higher resolution textures and stuff like that. And that's, when you if you work on a game, you author everything at a higher resolution than what's actually shown in the game, and then you down-res it. Every single game gets it. So they're just running it at a higher, probably exported everything at a higher resolution. Maybe that they're running higher geometry going into the distance, right? So as opposed to, making smaller things. But yeah, it's these things are like marginal changes.
Yeah, my problem is like it's the performance isn't showing. Like, I'm not too worried. Like, it's like you're not getting good performance and you're not getting great texture. So what's the point here? You know?
I like in what you so in Astrobot, right? When
Yeah.
you get they have another level where you get all the new consoles. You get
Yeah.
the Pro, you get the Slim, you get all that. So when you get it and you look at the PlayStation 5 Pro, it says it's like, fidelity or graphics. How about both? And we were streaming that, we went bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You have to choose. You still have to choose.
You do have to choose.
Now it's Fidelity Pro and Performance Pro. It's still, again, but ours goes, it's not the same thing.
Completely different.
It's completely
different, Tony. I don't even hear the connection.
Oh, man. Pro this, bro.
These nuts.
All right, man. What did you say here, Reggie? They were smitten with the Xbox One X when it was dropped, but it was short-lived. Yeah, I mean, Digital Foundry, they do that. They do get smitten, I'm like, oh, they could do this, they could do that. And then later on, the honeymoon ends real quick, over at Digital Foundry land, You know what I like about Digital Foundry, too? I like how, they make me feel like a cool dude, because those are some fucking nerds, bro. We're like, damn, the shit they say. I'm like, bro, all right. Like, they're really nerdy, but they're also doing their Lord's work. I like all that stuff. All right, and the last story here, Adam, I threw this one here specifically for you, man. Shit. Skate has a closed beta, and they have microtransactions in a closed beta. What the fuck?
I could see that as for testing purposes, to see how people react, just like what we're seeing now, and what people actually would they buy it. Because think about it, that's even just for microtransactions to implement all that stuff to get the licensing. Because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of like real world skate shops or skate brands and put them in. You got to pay out money to try to make it. And we're like, oh, is this audience even interested in that? I don't know. Put it in the beta. Let's see if they even bother with it. So we'll see, but I have a feeling that they will buy it if the price is right, because we see it in Fortnite. People doing it in Fortnite. So I could definitely see it happening in Skate, and it's a free to play, and that's usually an easier pill to swallow when people think, well, I didn't spend any money on this game, so I'll give you $5.
Yeah, but during a closed beta, that's wild to me, man.
Yeah, I think it's just testing. If you don't like it, you don't need it. You don't have to buy it. That's one of the things, unless it's something you need. Like, oh, you want to play the skateboarding game? Well, you need a skateboard. You don't start with one. You have to go and get a skateboard and a micro. Then if you do that, no, that's too low. Can't do that. But I'm not surprised. I'm still pissed that it's a free to play though, because of this. I know they're gonna nickel and dime because they have to recoup some of the cost. It's free, and it's not really free. We're paying in other ways. And that's what I hate about it, because I'd rather if this does come out and they're like, hey, we got this long plan, all this stuff, but if they would just say, or you can pay X amount, $60, whatever, right now, and poof, you'll get all of that. Not have to deal with any of this, because some games do this. There was a war game that I played. It was one of the first ones that I played on the Steam Deck, and man, I'm blinking on the name. But it had that. It was a free to play, but it was like, hey, if you pay $20, you get all of it. You get maps, you get all the stuff.
In the closed beta?
No.
Because that's the part I'm sticking with. I'm like, they're doing this for a closed beta. That's the part that's weirding me out.
You have to see that as part of the beta. That's the test, to see if people are interested in it, to see how it works.
That's crazy.
I get it. That makes perfect sense to me, because it's a big investment if they plan on going all in on this storefront and get all of these brands partnered in. Like right now, playing the WWE one, and how they're incorporating everything that was in the NBA, where we have the Nike store and we have the Jordan store, and it's like they're paying a lot for these licenses to put them in there just to get the ability to sell that stuff. Not like these companies are saying, yeah, go ahead, put it in, we'll split the profit. They want money up front.
Is it the game where it costs more to get a haircut in the game than on?
Yeah. With $9,000, get a haircut in the game, in-game currency. You know, it's expensive. All that stuff is expensive, but it's the grind. And then people, when they see other characters running around, people with real people running around, then they want that stuff too. And if you're into whatever it is, like in basketball, the jerseys, all that stuff, you'll be into this. You know, sneakerheads. All the current sneakers are in the game. So if same thing here with the skate, I'm sure it's not just boards. I'm sure it's clothing. I'm sure you can get some etnies and airwalks and things like that. And they're not fictional ones. They're the ones that you can see. So if you want to make your NPC look like you, well, not your NPC, but your character look like you could pretty much do it. If you're rocking all that skate gear is in the game, and you have to pay for it or build up for it, because I'm sure that's the other thing with it. There's going to be some in-game. That's always the catch. Oh, wait, no, you don't have to buy it. Just keep playing. But then it's like, how many in-game currencies do you need for this?
Oh, man.
It's like it could take forever just to get a t-shirt. And then your buddy who's like, well, you know, I spent $10. I got the whole outfit. I'm still trying to get these socks. You know, this is going to take me a few months. So it's the grind. So you either grind it out or pay it out. You pick your method, and people are always going to bitch about it, but as much as they bitch, it makes money. People do it depending on the game.
Yeah,
again, Division 2 is alive because of microtransactions.
Yeah,
they have openly said that.
Did they have microtransactions during? Again, the part I'm not, the microtransactions aren't the part that's weirding me out. It's the microtransactions during the closed beta. Like, have there been other games that have done this?
For the playtest of the Division, the stuff is in the store. You could always buy stuff.
Yeah, even during the closed beta.
I gotta check again. The next one that comes up, I'll try it. But I know the vendors are there. We see the vendors. So if you see the vendors, and especially the premium vendor, you know, that's the one that needs the money for those packs. It's still there. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So if anybody in the chat could answer that for me, because again, I've never heard of this before. Microtransactions in a closed beta, you know, and I think that's why people are like kind of up in arms, like, what the fuck? This isn't usual, you know. Again, I'm not fussed about microtransactions. I get that. I'm just like, huh? Closed beta? That's a little weird. It's like you're just trying to get the whales, you know.
Mm-hmm. The whales, and then also we don't know all the specs. Like, do you get to keep this? Because you're signing in with your EA profile. So if they say, hey, listen, yeah, there's some microtransaction stuff if you do buy the stuff, but it could be, this is Italian, it could be exclusive items. Yeah. And we've seen this. I've played betas. There was one Call of Duty World War II, and if you played the beta and stuff, you got a special helmet, right? And that carried over. And I remember many times people sending me messages, how'd you get that helmet? Where'd you get the helmet? I was like, oh, I had to do this beta thing. You had to play, and you had to play a certain amount of time, and then you got the helmet. So I could definitely see them milking that with it. It's like, hey, you want this deck or this outfit that says beta tester on it, you know, cool grab, maybe looks like spray painted on, and there's your microtransaction. And if you want to be that guy to be like, yeah, I was there day one, you're going to buy it.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Will your stuff carry over to the main game? You know, if you already spend a lot of money or whatever, you know?
It should be, because you're signed in. You have to sign in to all these testings, and you're under your official profile since it is closed. It's not an open one like, hey, just jump in there. No, so I wouldn't be surprised. Or at least it says, hey, once it launches, go into the marketplace, and then you'll see your items there and just re-download.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
When is it released? Did they say a release date?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I don't. I've heard the testing, but I don't know release date, and you know it's.
I have no idea. Guess we'll have to see. All right, let's start wrapping it up. Another good one. We got a bunch of stuff to plug. Let's do this now before it gets fucked up. Manny, what's up? Ah, God damn it! Oh well, just go. You're ready. You know.
Yeah. So if you can see it, it's all out now, and there's another one.
What's out now?
It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 7. It's out now, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8 is coming soon with covers by me and Kari Randolph. They've showed every single one of them. So February was Mr. Donatello. March is Leonardo, and I think April is Michelangelo, and May is Raphael. And then also this month is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto, which has a cover by me and Kari Randolph and myself. That one is what is called a retailer exclusive, which means it's incredibly rare. So good luck finding that one.
Oh boy.
So yeah, for the Turtles books, we're all cover E's. So if you see cover E, that's us, and then the RT is for the Naruto one. And I also have some other fun stuff coming up. Don't know exactly when, but keep an eye out.
Anywho, which is your favorite turtle?
I would say Leonardo, but I always got pegged with Raphael. So in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles office, so there was 4 people in the color department. So all of our on the Macs, you could mark all of your files a different color. So if you marked it blue, that would be Reggie. That was our color supervisor. If it was red, it was me. And then Donatello was the 4th person, whoever that 4th person was. And then obviously Michelangelo was our other background painter, Jimmy. So yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Adam, what's going on? Oh, what's up? What's up?
I thought when Manny was saying the covers, he's gonna be like, in April, it's gonna be April.
No April cover for April, which would make sense.
I thought you were gonna bust out the TURTLE power song, because you're going right through it. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello. Oh man,
my daughter knows the whole song by heart.
TURTLE power. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That movie's still the shit, man. Fucking awesome. All right, Adam, what's going on with the Reacher show?
It's still going, man. People are still following and watching on all the platforms. You guys ever knew
season 3?
We got another episode. we have a new series. Yeah, so episode 6 is out. Smoke on the Water. Another crazy death. Every episode pretty much has, at least the latest ones, all have some crazy death. And this guy, he's pretty much like RoboCop, the way he pulls things off. So pretty good. It's out there over on the Coalition, Spotify, and all that. Just do a search for Talking Reacher, or just Reacher in general, because we seem to be always at the top when people are just searching for the show. So that's that. And what else? We got some more game reviews I'm doing. The WWE one. Apparently, they said that they fixed a lot of the issues with the island, because couldn't play any of the stuff in the island. It's their new mode, and every time I would go to play any of the matches, it would just hang, wouldn't work. So, kind of sucks when the game comes down like a day, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna patch it. We're gonna get it working." I don't know about that, And then that's it. We got some other stuff. I Am Negan, that's coming back. Myself, Richard, and Carlos. Yeah, we that stuff we have to say, and you'd probably be surprised by the stuff we say when that comes out.
Oh,
May 4th. So we got time.
May 4th be with you. Oh, Star Wars Day.
May 4th be with you.
Yeah. Yo, Carlos, when Adam was saying "Smoke on the Water," you know what I was thinking, right? Dan, dan, dan.
Oh yeah.
Dan, 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 dan. Oh man. Speaking about more Coalition stuff, it's happening, people. Season 3 finale of Invincible. It's out now, so make sure you watch the episode, because we will be doing the full spoiler cast for that. The last week's episode and this week's episode, the episodes I've been waiting to talk about since we started this podcast. People are going ham on Twitter, spoiling shit, so be careful with that.
And possibly a spoiler came from me.
Yeah, it did come from you. As I predicted, a certain character is very popular with people, just like he was in the comics. So good stuff. So that'll be me, Rich, Carlos, Chris, and maybe Dana if she's feeling better. And that'll be the wrap up for this year until Invincible comes back. So good stuff there. But Rich, what else is going on with the Coalition this weekend?
Yeah, so myself, Dana, and Gary, we have been covering Power. That show just returned last week. We have another episode that's actually coming out. Well, it's actually out right now. So our review will be up tomorrow morning. You can check that out if you are a fan of Power. As for the gaming side, I actually have been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Uh-oh.
And I also have been playing it while during this podcast. So yeah, there's quite a bit to say. So you want to stay tuned for the review, which will be coming out next week. The game is out on the 20th. The reviews will be out on the 18th. So yeah, we will see what the general consensus is. I'm also heading to GDC next week.
GDC.
So I probably. Oh wait, whoa. Okay.
Damn, Brad, that's fucking hard.
Brett. Wow.
Calm it down, man.
Yeah, so there's a couple things I will be checking out at GDC. I don't know if I will be able to make the Throwdown next week because I may be flying back Thursday night. But yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, as for the coalition, a lot of gaming stuff in the works. So definitely stay tuned.
Good stuff. And the last thing I want to plug, the Monster Hunter streams are back this weekend, people. You already know, making our way through. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if Carlos can join us for that. You know, he's going to be in Europe. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, we'll at least have Subgata there to represent Mexicans. So we'll be good, you know.
Yolo Sealy.
YOLO, yeah. We got to get Chris back in there. Sketch, we played with him. Manny probably be back on. Good to have you there last time, which is fun.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good to jump along.
Yep. So we'll be playing some more of that. Friday and Saturday, starting at 8, and we'll probably do, you know, this weekend I don't have to work. Oh, by the way, last week I was like, oh, I'm working on something this weekend. I can't tell you. I could just say now, obviously, fucking Apple released the iPad Air and MacBook Air. I reviewed both of them. Go over to tomsky.com to read those. But now that I'm free, I will be doing epic streams this weekend. It'll be good. We may actually finish up the campaign. We'll see about that. And Chris, Carlos, I'm going to throw something your way, man. An idea. Just proposing it live. You realize that we never did the end game for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, right?
We did.
That's right.
We did. We got to the credits, but there's still more. I actually jumped back into the game. I'm like, oh shit, there's still more. And then I was like, let me stop. I think this might be good to stream after Monster Hunter Wilds, you know?
Oh, I'd be up for going back.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, and by the way, dude, the game looks nice, bro. I'm like, and I'm not gonna say, oh, it looks nice for that time. Like, it looks fucking nice, you know? I'm assuming the PS5 Pro's bumping it up, you know?
Brian.
Brian's not here, bro.
Are you gonna be playing with us?
I'm still in for Deep Down.
So yeah, I'm throwing that out there. We may be playing Monster Hunter World Iceborne again because I'm having fun with these streams, man. Let's keep it going. You know,
they're fun, man.
Yeah, they're a blast, and Monster Hunter World is still good. And I just realized, this is the first time I'm playing Monster Hunter World on my TV, bro. It looks crazy. You know, and I'm playing it on graphics mode. But here's the fun thing. No matter what mode you select, it's all fucking 60 frames a second on the PS5 Pro. And on the PS4 Pro, it was like that too, you know?
Did we ever play it on PS5?
We did, but we never streamed Iceborne.
Oh.
I don't know why, but yeah, we beat it. Because remember, we beat that final monster in the crater, that crazy looking one.
The one that messed us up the whole thing every time.
Oh, yeah. Yo, and I did like a practice run. It was, I forgot the name of the monster, the one with that kind of blade tail. Like, bro, dudes were getting carded. I'm like, yeah, this is the shit I've been missing. You know? It was good. Yeah, because the thing is, again, I like Monster Hunter West. I'm like, I already finished everything. Like, aside from, like, I'm playing it every night, but it feels like I'm just milking the turnip. You know what I'm saying? Like, I beat all the side missions, did all the main missions. I'm just waiting for new content. I'm like, I think I'm going to go back to Monster Hunter World, bro. You know, like, that itch is still there. I'm like, you know? Mm-hmm. And who knows? But I may even fuck around and play Rise eventually. Like, it's real right now, you know? But yeah, good stuff. Check out the stream. Check out the coalition. Check out all the good stuff we got coming for you, man. And that's gonna do it for us as always. Thank you guys for hanging out. Shout out to Reggie. And we will follow all of you around on the Discord because it's always fun there. But you can also check us out everywhere: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app. All that stuff. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Peace out until 2 weeks, bro. You
Peace
know?
out for a while.
Yeah. Adam Vale
Have a good weekend, everybody.
and Richard Bailey Jr.
Watch Invincible as soon as possible.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I'm up to episode 6 now.
Okay,
Tonight. I'm like halfway
All right,
through.
let's settle down.
And no spoilers.
Superman shows up.
Hey, you know, did it. Oh, yeah, Adam, get ready for episode 7 and 8, man. You're going to go nuts. All right, people, we will see you on Sunday. And as always, make sure you check out the streams. Throwdown, baby. Later.